Today, let's talk through a braiding presser foot and how to use it. Welcome, I do sewing and DIY related content, and today's video is another presser foot series, and we are talking about the braiding foot. So a braiding presser foot, you see it is kind of a little square item that we have here. It can look a little weird at first, especially because you have so many little openings. Like, what are we supposed to do with all of these? As you can see, compared to our regular presser foot, it is much more square, so it's not as long, but it's about 1 inch by 1 inch. So one square on this board is 1 inch, so this is about 1 inch by 1 inch. It both clips in very similar to our regular presser foot, and this helps us with adding decorative touches such as ribbon or elastic. As you can see, it has this channel on the bottom, and that is one of the great points about this, is that it really helps you guide if you were trying to sew or attach ribbon or rickrack to fabric. It's going to help you do that. So to demonstrate this today, I have 2 pieces of fabric that we'll be using, and then I have some elastic, so this is 1/4 inch elastic, and then I also have some ribbon, and we are going to be playing around with this onto this fabric and seeing how can we use this presser foot. So like I said before, to actually attach the presser foot, this is a clip-in, so I'm just going to unclip the first presser foot that I had on here, and then I'm just going to be snapping this in. There's that little bar, and then I have a little black button on the back of my machine. I'm just going to be pressing that, and then I'm just able to kind of clip into place the other presser foot. So here's how it looks on my machine. Very easy to install. So what you do want to make sure, as with any new presser foot, is that your machine is aligned, the needle with the presser foot itself. Sometimes they do come left aligned, so you just want to make sure that's in the center, and then it will also depend on what stitch you're using. So we are going to start off first with some elastic, so I am going to change this to a zigzag stitch since I am sewing elastic and I wanted to have that stretch. And now what you're going to be doing to actually get this elastic onto our fabric is you just want to take a few kind of starting off stitches, or like anchoring stitches. Then I'm going to gently pull my elastic while holding the back of my fabric, and I am just going to keep that elastic kind of in place of where that groove is on my presser foot. And as you can see, the fabric in the back is actually starting to curl, and that's because this is doing what it's supposed to. The elastic is pulling it. So here you can see that the sewing machine is just guiding that elastic onto our fabric, and we are able to sew it in place. And because we were stretching it, this is actually giving the elastic some tension, and then it is curling our fabric for us. So the nice part about this presser foot is that it held that elastic in place to give it that nice straight line for us. And now we've just sewn some elastic onto our fabric. A really easy way to add like kind of a gathering touch if you wanted to. This would be great for sleeves. I also feel like this is a commonly used technique for doll clothes as well. Now another option you can do with this presser foot is to attach ribbon. So we see that we have that opening at the front, and then I am just going to put the ribbon through and then bring it back down, and then I'm going to re-snap this presser foot onto my machine and then just begin sewing. And as you can see, it acts as a guide. And what I love how easy it is to just guide this ribbon onto my fabric and to sew it. Everything comes together so nicely with this. And that's one of the great parts about this presser foot, is how easy it is to do these decorative stitches and to add these decorative elements to your fabric. Now let's say you're using thinner ribbon. You see we have this little screw here. This plate moves up and down so that you're actually able to have your ribbon fit nice and tight within this presser foot, so you don't have to worry about it moving around. So the ribbon that I used was slightly bigger, so you can see here I'm re-guiding this piece of ribbon through, and at the largest size it's how it fits perfectly through it, so I'm able to sew that ribbon onto my fabric. Now I could make this opening smaller if I was using a smaller piece of ribbon, or if I was attaching a piece of twine or rope, for example. And then if I want to make this bigger or smaller, you're just going to unscrew it. I'm using a screwdriver that I had with my serger, and it works pretty well, but I would definitely say you want a tiny screwdriver. Sort of the ones that come with eyeglasses are going to be the best option for this. And then you'll be able to adjust this to better meet your needs to add on that decorative element that you are using. So like we saw today, you could add it for elastic, you could add it for ribbon, so many different varieties that you could do with this presser foot. Let me know how you've used one of these. If you've ever used one before, I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.